what is your favorite pick? For me, it's a tie.
Favorite in what sense?
In the sense
for
of
entertainment purposes?
Yeah.
Or the one I like the most in terms of who I want to see confirmed?
No. We're long past that. We are talking about the most absurd. I personally think, when I thought Carrie Lake was going to be the ambassador to Mexico, I thought that was bad. But now that she's going to be head of VOA, Voice of America,
but you can't. But it's
you
actually
can't even do it.
You can't even do that.
There's a commission.
The VOA director is appointed by the head of some board.
Yes.
Which
has Democrats and
Republicans. And is, the Secretary of State is like the tie-breaking vote.
Exactly.
So he can't really actually.
Right.
Anyway.
But in a way, that kind of makes sense, because doesn't she speak for the majority of Americans? This is what we're
She didn't speak for Arizona. She lost.
Yes, exactly. So that kind of was my favorite. But then we had Kimberly Guilfoyle, and I thought, did she think Ambassador to Greece was to the Broadway show as opposed to the country?
I saw that coming, right? You saw that coming.
I mean, really? I mean, this is, listen, we all want to get rid of our exes.
She wants to pose for a new statue.
Yes, we all want to get rid of our exes. But isn't it a little bit more to ask someone to appoint your ex or your intended ex to a foreign country? What do you think Greece is thinking? Like, why us? Why us? Why do we have to be the one?
They have no idea.
It's... Right, but it's okay. Mike Huckabee is going to Israel, so I think we should get a Jew to go to the Holy See. Don't you think so? They got one, we get the
That's
other one.
That's an interesting concept.
Yes, because he has no kind of conception.
Look, we're okay with the Old Testament.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it was amended, but yeah. Okay.
Yes. You can see what problem this would be. This is why it's not happening. But we
were actually having a conversation in the green room. Oh, not this green room, but the green room. Back there, about how hard would it be for me to learn the Torah and get converted. We decided that's not the country. I'd love to visit Israel, but that's not my country. I have to find someplace. It's easy.
Exactly. So we're all working on our plan Bs, right? Where you're going to go if they really do come after you. So my first plan B is to go to California. I realize it's not another country.
That is as foreign a country as you can imagine, right?
I realize, and maybe to you folks, it's not the same country, but it's far enough away. It takes a long time to get there. They don't take anything that happens in California all that seriously. So that would be plan number one.
You'd be stuck in traffic.
I'd be stuck in traffic, but hey, listen, I came in over the George Washington Bridge.
Not as bad as it was when we were kids.
So yeah. So that's plan one. Plan two is to go to the most war-torn, hated country in the world, which is Israel. So that would be preferable to staying in America with Donald Trump.
Well, they're having new settlements in the Golan.
Right, exactly. Yes, exactly. And the third is, they have these kind of golden parachute countries that if you simply buy a house or buy a business, you can.
Portugal was that way, but I think they tightened
up. Yeah, they upped it. Yeah, the people got kind of wise to it, and they figured out that all these Americans were upping housing prices.
I have a diplomat friend from Malta.
Yeah, there you go. So what is your plan B? Do you have a plan B?
I don't know. I'm not afraid.
Yeah.
I'm going to Banff for vacation. I will look for real estate. If I buy a ski house, which I've always wanted to do, it's probably going to be in Alberta rather than Utah or California. But I don't know if I can. It's hard to.
Yeah, I see. My problem.
I don't think the political asylum case is there yet, because I think people are afraid of the. Look, it is true. He has all the tendencies of an authoritarian. He's a narcissistic sociopath. All of your cult leaders and fascist-type leaders are of that same psychological bent. But I think what we're not going to see we're not going to see jackbooted thugs in the streets, except if you're an immigrant, you have a.
Then you do, yes.
What we're going to see is so much corruption.
Yes. And
that's what we're going to see.
I think that's what we're going to see. This is we have never had this level of corruption.
You know, I mean, what's going to be interesting is whether or not these media types like the Bezoses and the LA Times guys and so on are going to hold back on the news reporting as opposed to editorializing. I don't think they're going to have a choice because one of the things that is sort of interesting about the Trump people is they're not loyal to each other and not even to Trump in some ways. I don't mean the Trump voters, but I mean the people around him. They are all as self-interested as him. They are all trying to make money by acting as gatekeepers to Trump.
Oligarchy just refers to rich people running the show,
Right.
and it's getting harder to.
This is more Kakistocracy.
Yes.
Kak is a word we all have to learn how to say 10
Yes.
times. Kakistocracy, Kakistocracy, Kakistocracy.
Yes, and
where
that
the
is
worst people govern.
right. The worst of the worst and the hackish of the hackish,
Right.
dealing in self-interest.
What are you saying about Matt Gaetz?
You know, hey.
All right.
So let's try to think of something good that might happen in the Trump era.
You okay?
Yeah. So let's see what we can think. Well, let's see.
You know, I mean, the
I-
only thing I can think of is that there was something to Henry Kissinger's madman theory.
Yeah.
Where, you know, I mean, Henry Kissinger had this theory that if
he's
the North
crazy,
Vietnamese
yeah.
thought Nixon was crazy, they come to the peace table. Of course, the North Vietnamese won. Okay?
Right.
I think it is perfectly healthy and normal and good for people to, you know, I mean, cable news viewing on CNN and MSNBC is down. I think it's good to decompress. I think it's good to just take a break from all of this.
Not from us, but those other people.
No, even from us. I don't, you know, I mean, we don't need to be beating the drum every day, because right now, it's not necessarily doing any good. There are things that will be bad that will come soon enough. Don't you worry. And that's the time to really, really figure out something to do. And that being said, I know that there are a lot of people, a lot of groups that are doing a lot of planning and organizing and meeting as we speak. In fact,
Yes.
I'm going to a confab, on which I'm not authorized to say, on Tuesday, and I'm on conference calls. People, you know, they understand
Yes.
what's going on, but they understand that the fight has to be different this time. We know a lot more now, and we know some things don't work and some things do work, and we know that he's going to be worse. And I think, you know, I mean, for example, the corruption is going to be so bad, and people voted for the price of eggs being lower. It's like, okay, we're going to see these Kakistocrats and oligarchs making a ton
Gazillions of dollars.
and
Yes.
consultants and so on. And even Donald Trump now is conceding he can't do anything about the price of eggs.
Right.
Okay? There'll be plenty of time to say, see, we told you.